everybody. Can you all hear me? Yes. All right, perfect. Great to see everyone, friends, future friends. Okay, is my slide up? Okay. Okay, perfect. First of all, I want to start by specially thanking the organizers for having me here. And I also honor all the distinguished guests that are here with us today to witness this summit. Ladies and gentlemen, the ghost of Berlin still haunts Africa. Almost 140 years ago, in a room like this in Berlin, foreign powers came together and drew a map that carved Africa into fragments. They divided our people, our resources, and our future, not with bricks, but with borders. Yet, even today, we still live within those walls. But in this same month, in the month of June, sometime in 1987, something inspiring happened that we must recreate in this room. The then President Ronald Reagan stood and gave an address, and there he thundered these eternal words: Mr. Gorbachev, tear down these walls. And when that wall fell, it didn't just reunite Germany, it unleashed Europe's greatest economic boom. Today, I have come to charge every single leader in this room. Africa, it is time to tear down your Berlin walls. But first, to understand Africa's puzzling trade problem, we must first have more insight. For a continent that is rich in resources, people, and potential, we are poorly connected. And this is very deliberate. We have trade that is fragmented, borders It is a lot cheaper for Senegal to import sugar from Brazil than from Nigeria. A Kenyan SME will pay 10 times the fees than its German counterpart. The reason is because our money still moves like it's 1987, not 2025. What haven't we tried? Debt-driven solutions, toxic charity, endless summits. But the question is, why aren't these measures working? They don't work because Africa lacks the rails, that is, the financial systems to make Africa work. And so, when you understand that trade without connection is just an aspiration, when we understand that you can't trade with someone that you can't pay, when you understand that we can't scale across borders if money can't move freely, if we live in an Africa where each country has its own currency, its own rules, and its own restrictions, where traders face high fees, where there are long delays, and systems are opaque, where informal network fills the gaps and limit growth, you can see that trade will only remain an aspiration. And so, here are the lessons we've learned at Fincra as we've spent time trying to solve this problem. After connecting 100 merchants across 100 countries, building APIs that talk across borders, and battling red tape and siloed systems, herein lies our position for Africa. It starts first and foremost with the imagination and courage to dream. Imagine a future where Africa births a financial infrastructure that turns borders into bridges. What will be the qualities of such a payment infrastructure? First of all, it must have seamless cross-border payments, instant settlement, no more 7-day waits, one-click transactions, no bureaucracy. Secondly, it must have scalable FX infrastructure, real-time currency swaps at fractional cost, no more 10% to the middleman. Thirdly, it must have united interoperable APIs, no more 54 different systems trying to speak to each other. Ladies and gentlemen, I am excited to announce to you that Fincra is building for this same future. At Fincra, we're not just building financial products, we're starting a movement. We call this the Afrincran movement. I say to everyone here, Africa needs less walls, it needs more rails. What can we learn from the past? When we consider the great Henry Ford, who had to collaborate with the railroad lords and turned disconnected towns into the United States of America, who made mass production and distribution enabled, and who brought prosperity to all. In this same vein, I hereby make the call. I make the call to every CEO here. Don't let your complacency be a brick in another wall. I make the call to every regulator listening. Don't let bureaucracy be another barbed wire. And I make the call to every single one of us here so that I can be unequivocal. Silence is surrender. Let me then be clear. What do we mean when we say we want to organize Africa's trade? We mean 3 things. Number 1, we trade like neighbors. We become a connected marketplace, and we let the money flow. For a continent designed to be divided, it is time to design our own integration through a vision of shared prosperity and digital unity. Not just through policy, not through force or imitation, but with a vision. And so, in practical terms, what will organizing trade truly mean? It will mean that a hair vendor in Abidjan can sell to someone in Nairobi and get paid like that. It will mean a developer in Kigali can serve clients in Lagos without any friction. It will mean that a farmer in Kano can access buyers across Africa without currency chaos. So what are the practical steps that we are taking to get there? Merchant-friendly APIs, real-time cross-border settlement, scalable foreign exchange systems, and a unified payment infrastructure. At Fincra, we're not just dreaming, we're building. But herein lies our challenge. We can't do it alone. We need regulators to create smart, scalable rules. We need banks to open their APIs. We need businesses to build boldly. And we need governments to believe in integration. Trade isn't just about tech. It's about trust. At the heart of it all, what powers us is not profit. Profit cannot carry this vision of Africa. It has to be love, hope, and love. We're not just a fintech. We're building the rails. We're dreamers, and we intend to organize Africa's trade. Therefore, I hereby make the call that you join us, you build with us. Let's trade more across Africa. Let's move from division to connection, from confusion to clarity, and from red tape to real rails. This journey requires every single one of us. As I conclude, when President Ronald Reagan spoke in 1987, critics said, so I ask, are there people in this room who love Africa? Show of hands. I ask, are there people who will play their part? Show of hands. I ask, are there people who right here and right now pledge to be Africans? Then let all in favor of Africa say aye. Aye. Now, who's ready to get to work? Please join us at africran.com. Thank you.